my name is Brooke Levitt. I'm the CEO of Cloudentity. We are a Seattle-based startup offering an industry-leading authorization and consent software as a service platform. Simply put, we use open standards to enable businesses and users to exchange data safely. Our software can be used in any industry, but one of the most powerful applications of our technology is to enable the open exchange of data between organizations such as banks who store and maintain user data, like account data, with third parties, like fintechs, who leverage that data to provide valuable services to their customers. Broadly, we know this pattern as open banking. Why do we need open banking? Well, it really comes from the user. Users today demand a very tight integration between their online services, but they expect you, the provider of that data, and the third-party services that are leveraging that data to work together to provide a rich and powerful user experience. And without the use of open standards for that data exchange, this type of integration can be costly, risky, and very fragile. Financial institutions and fintechs operating solely within the United States are not yet required by law to adhere to any particular standard for open data sharing or open integration. However, in many financial markets around the world, such standards have already been adopted and have become open banking regulations. Today, I'm going to demonstrate how using existing specifications such as FDX, Open Banking UK, Open Finance Brazil, and CDR, the Consumer Data Right in Australia, will allow our fintech application here, which is a fictitious financial analysis and investment tool called FinovateFall, to register with a fictitious bank that we call GoBank as a third-party application. That's what puts it on the screen here. The end user is then able to use and control how their account data flows from GoBank to FinovateFall without any existing relationship or previous relationship between the fintech and the bank. So when the user enters this portal, they don't have any accounts selected or any accounts linked. So we're going to click on GoBank, and the user is here presented adherent to the specification that we're using for the demonstration, with a specific set of information about what they're sharing and what they're going to be consenting to when they complete the share. When they say they'll allow access, they now have to sign in directly to the bank. Once they've signed into the bank, they're prompted for consent, again, exactly per the specification, for which accounts they would like to share. The user can select to share one, but not the other of their bank accounts. We'll go ahead and pick both and agree. Now what's happening here is FinovateFall has registered itself dynamically using the OAuth protocol, specifically using dynamic client registration, to form a relationship with the bank on the fly using the standard. The user has then been sent to the bank to consent to share their account data with the fintech, and now on the screen you can see, I can see the bills and the household accounts, I can see the transactions on those accounts. I can also contribute to an investment account. Let's put $400 in that account. Now here on the fintech application, I'm able to actually select which account I'm going to use to make that payment. And once I confirm, the intent is registered with the bank, and the bank prompts me for consent to actually perform that payment from that account. And by providing that consent, the transaction is complete. Now, I, as the user, am in control of how this data flows. And as a result of that, the bank can provide access to a consent self-service portal like this one. And here, the user will be able to see all of the different applications, for example, our FinovateFall fictitious fintech, that I've provided any kind of account access to. You can see here that on the 12th of September, today, I provided access to both of these accounts, and that access is good for 1 month. But let's say I made a mistake and I don't trust that fintech anymore. I can revoke that consent, and by revoking that consent, I have instantaneously stopped the protocol from working. So now if I go back to the accounts page, the information is gone. I have the option to reconnect, but the fintech can no longer access my information. Now, from an administrator perspective, what does this look like? Our software is offered in SaaS format, but can also be deployed on-premise or in the in the financial institutions cloud, for example, or in the fintech cloud. Now, one tenant in our SaaS environment offers multiple workspaces, and you can see here I have 6 of them. Each workspace is a distinct OAuth authorization service, and our workspaces, if we create a new workspace, are pre-configured for specific functionality. So you can see here I have fintech workspaces. I have workspaces that are automatically adherent to Open Banking UK, Open Finance Brazil, CDR in Australia, Financial Data Exchange, and other partner B2B scenarios. And we have customers using all of these in production today. Now, when you set up one of these workspaces, you actually have a whole landscape environment that you're creating in order to perform that authorization. You can see on the left column here, we have identity sources, which can be ours or they can come from somewhere else. You have the authorization service. You have the client applications that are used to access the various parts of the system, and you have control over authorization to your APIs. Now, I want to reinforce here that the time to wait and see what happens with open banking has long passed. Open data exchange standards have been extremely successful. They're expanding beyond the UK, the EU, Brazil, and Australia to countries like Canada and Colombia right now, as well as countries in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. They're expanding beyond banking into insurance and pensions, and even to energy utilities and telcos. Now is the time to adopt these standards and put your users in control of how they share their data and how they consent, and be able to revoke that consent from access to the various third parties that are using it. So please come by our booth or visit our website here, and you can launch a free tenant so that you can see how quick and easy it is to build exactly the same environment that I just demonstrated for you. Thank you.